qualifiers to weed out the weaker teams, have an elite group, and then decide whether we want an amateur group too. Yeah, but I mean, actually, like, if you look at the results, the like, if you look at the results so far, you say there's a lot of one-sided games, but like, I mean, like Group B, for example, OSC Roots are 1-4. They have the same scoreline as Stream Team. They're only one match better off than Gplay. They've not run that many more maps than other teams. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. I understand there's weaker teams and sometimes they get stomped, but I wouldn't say there's that many 4-0 stomps or anything. You know? So, I don't know. Like, people have discussed this a lot. I already dropped the kind of the number of teams from 20 to 18 this season. We might drop it to 16, but obviously every number of team, the more teams we drop, the less content we get from the league, which means it's harder to sell to sponsors. I mean, I don't even know if I can get a Season 8 right now because this season has gone so badly that when it comes to sending numbers to people, it's just going to be like, hey guys, look at this, we've got absolutely fuck all to show for Season 7 because it was a disaster. So give us money, okay, thanks, bye. Root needs Hydra back. Root's been doing a decent job. Root's been doing okay with Hero, it's just like somehow they keep losing in the end. It's pretty insane. By the way, bottom right hand side from Gplay, it is Sweps, the first player out. Going up against Avocado from isIMBA, the green Terran player top left. We'll see some PvT action here to start off this best of 7 series. Love WTL, just it feels like so many matches. I mean, I know it's a lot of matches, but put it this way, like, even if it was, in fairness, even if it was 8 teams, it's actually not any more matches. If it was only 8 teams, you would still have to play 7 games. In a round robin, it would just mean we have 1 group instead of 2. Because it would be dumb for us to make 2 groups, because that really does just mean that there's barely any games at all for us to kind of sell it on. So even if we had 8 games, we wouldn't have like any less matches to play, because you'd still play 7 players in the round robin stage. Right now you play 8 players in the round robin stage, it's just split into 2 groups, you know? And obviously the quality of each match would be better if it's just the elite teams. But I think the kind of the lower teams being able to create a story for themselves, like for example, like if we only had 8 teams, teams like Stream Team wouldn't be here, and they've won a series. You know, teams like Roman Game and the 4-2, they probably wouldn't be in the top 8. Yeah, OSC Root would be, and they're 1-4 this season. I think there's just so much variation in the team league that it's hard to justify lowering it to too low a team number. I've been thinking about it again and again and again. I mean, I know it's a lot of games, but at the same time, it might not actually be that many games as it is just badly organized, so it feels like way more games than it is because it's gone on for way longer than it should have done. I am going to really revamp it for next season, if we can get a next season, as we see Sweps here. We'll open up with this little bit of a pylon rush. 2 pylons coming down towards the front already. Mothership Core and Stalker still poking away at these mules and SCVs. Another mule will go down. No, not quite. Reactor will build away from the front, so he's going to be able to keep his reactor alive, which is great. But these Stalkers just going to help so much in terms of poking away at the supply depot. So the supply depot will go down. Going to be seeing this pylon continue working its way through the second depot, which will also go down here. Just SCVs even realizing they can't save this. Avocado hit into a large supply block from this point, but he has a Cyclone now, more Marines, and well, the overcharges were both used, which means obviously the pylon does drop pretty quickly. Avocado maybe a potential counterattack here. CC will land back in position on the natural. Sweps obviously feeling fairly comfortable with how he's positioned himself in right now. Oracle is on the way out, so he can continue to harass. As he continues to harass, he can sort of just go from that point on and yeah, add on the Forge. He's going to go into Phoenix production. +1 will come up, and we'll probably see a Resonating Glaives and Twilight Cancel into Resonating Glaives in the near future as well. Losing a couple of depots obviously sucks, but is an investment of a pylon or so at the start, and does use up a lot of the overcharge energy, which means that counterattacks have a little bit more potential, but the counterattack not coming in yet because the Stalkers over here. The Stalkers are starting to die though. The Stalkers starting to be picked off by these Marines and by the Cyclone. So some good damage being done. And we've seen the Stalkers do indeed end up dropping down. Oracle will fly in the back though. There's absolutely no response to this right now. Missile turret was about to start building, but way too late. Oracle 4 kills now, 5 gets 6 on the SCV on the gas. He'll come in for 1 more. The siege tank won't save the day. These Marines will, however, and he will be able to push that Oracle away. So Oracle is pushed back. That will be it for now. And the Phoenix continue to come on up here. Still no Glaives though, surprised by the lack of a Twilight Council. And on a lot more gates actually, considering he's only on 2 bases. 4 more gates takes him up to 5 now. And it's getting to this point where it looks as though Sweps might just go for a big 2-base push with the damage he's done already. He might just say, you know what, I feel as though I can just push through and win this in the next few moments. So, obviously looking to just be very aggressive. Let's see if it's going to work out for him. Or whether it's going to be maybe not quite the way he wants things to go. Well, we'll find out as we're going to be seeing the Oracle coming in towards the upper left-hand side. And again, more gates just going to be finishing in the next few moments. A Siege Tank on the way out, Liberator too, seeing what else might happen. A couple of SCVs taking some shots here and there. Marines will come through and they will be able to help pick off that Oracle. So Oracle does indeed fall now up to this top side. And Avocado coming down to the low ground, looking to see what's happening. Cyclone Tank, Marines, Medevac up in the sky as well, looking to see what's going on. There's 2 supply depots going to come down at the front as well. Tank will unsiege and Avocado will begin to push out onto the map. +1 attack upgrade. I'm still surprised by the lack of the Twilight Council. Robo Facility now coming down too. I guess this push though from Avocado won't be too successful because of the fact it's a 2-base play from the Protoss play. He should be very well prepared to deal with an aggressive push forwards. He's got Phoenix already going to try and grab a Medevac. Gets it down to half health, will fly over Marines momentarily and will get the kill for it. Good stuff, although those Phoenix a little bit battered and bruised now, may make them a little bit weak as they try to lift tanks in the near future. More Adepts getting set up, a cannon at the front here to help alongside the overcharges which will be available. Phoenix come up to the high ground to dodge away from the Cyclone lock-on, and again Avocado. An attack forwards which is, well, hopefully going to do something to start pulling him back into the game. A bunker will start coming up too. Nice overcharge, will instantly get rid of that bunker though. Badly placed, and that's the only SCV with this army. Phoenix pushing forwards, looking to see where they can pick up that tank from perhaps. If you can pick it up from far enough away, then maybe we can pick that off before this even begins. As we see the Adepts going to move forwards, they can't really help out there though. This pylon at the front will go down, but very patient play so far. Sweps warps in a few more Adepts, and Immortal on the way out, still just waiting probably for his +1 to finish as well. No real reason for him to kind of do much more as we see the +1 is about to finish up. I mean, may as well wait for +1 obviously, and again the patience so far I think for Sweps is really helping him out. Obviously 5 gates will help too. The Immortal here, and I mean, the Immortal's going to be able to reach from the high ground. A lot of these Immortals are here, a lot of these tanks, sorry, and really dish out the damage. Here we go, we'll start to take some hits, but it will be saved as we see the Phoenix lifting up the tanks, and well, these Marines are just going to be taken down very quickly as well. Phoenix will drop the tanks back down as the Adepts will clean up the rest. Phoenix get rid of the Liberator. And well, it's just a solid cleanup and Swept so far ahead now. We'll just immediately counterattack with the 6 Adepts warping in at a time from all of these gateways. No Prism, am I right in saying that? Yes, no Prism at all. He actually did in the end lose the Immortal as well, by the way, but as he pushes forwards, there's absolutely no units here. Widowmine will pick off 1 Phoenix, brilliant. I mean, that's something, but it's still not quite enough, and at the moment the wall is not actually completed to this northern side, so the Adepts could just shade right in. More Adepts coming across still, and it looks as though he's just going to break down this depot at the front, then shade in. But, well, no wall at the front from Mill here either. A little bit awkward. These Adepts are just going to jump right into the main. Still no glaives, though. I mean, +1 is nice. Actually, +1 is kind of huge because there's no combat shields. Oh, actually, +1, that means the Adepts are going to one-shot these, or two-shot these Marines. And it's obviously a huge, huge difference, and the Adepts are going to be able to just make this happen. Phoenix continue to lift up Marines one at a time, just taking a few more units out of the equation. A lot of Adepts in the natural already, only 23 SCVs remaining. A lot of money in the bank for Sweps. He needs to make sure he spends that as he kites away with these Adepts. Maybe wants to try and shade on top of the Marines. Combat shields now finished, makes life a little bit more difficult for them. It's just the damage on the low ground that continues to add on up here, of course. Again, Sweps just needs to spend his money, throws down a Robo Bay, drop a 3rd Nexus, maybe even just get a Warp Prism. There's no reason not to have a Warp Prism at this point. As we're just going to be seeing the Adepts working their way through the supply depot. Another depot taking some damage as well. Phoenix poking away at that orbital command center as well. And orbital's still just taking a little bit more damage, so a little bit more damage being done. We're going to see again the Adepts is going to get rid of this supply depot. And again, more Adepts coming up to the north side of the map. Still 2 Phoenix overhead, and looking to see what might happen here as Marines will stim in towards those Adepts. They're going to get pushed away pretty swiftly. 1 Adept falls, the others just pulling away to the side. I mean, Avocado is doing a good, valiant job of just staying in this for as long as possible, but the reality is, eventually, he's going to be worn out. I'm surprised Sweps hasn't thrown down a 3rd Nexus, though. Like, he had so much money. I mean, he's going into Colossi now. He could have just thrown down a 3rd Nexus already. And bits and pieces. Obviously, casting from replays, guys, not something we're hiding today, and that's why we don't have to sit through this quick pause that they obviously had at the time. But yeah, just casting from replays, catching up from some of these series that got played out over the past few weeks. And as we do have again, Adepts just pulling back and seeing what's next. A few more Stalkers warping in. Colossi, 2 Robos up, by the way, and so Colossi are going to come out 2 at a time. I just don't understand why you wouldn't take the third Nexus. Because, you know, taking the third Nexus would only benefit you at this point of the game. You're not going to die by taking the third Nexus or anything, so... In fact, I think you're more liable to die from not taking the third Nexus and limiting yourself to how much you have able to mine. Two medevacs pulling down towards the bottom left-hand side of the map here. Looking to see what, of course, they can get up to. Probably not too much, though, realistically. Again, I mean, it's just 2 Widow Mines, and I think Avocado will probably be surprised when he sees the Risen of Third Nexus. He'll be like, what? Again, because it doesn't really make sense for there not to be a third Nexus with how this game has gone for Sweps. So Avocado might have some kind of false hope right now, because while it is kind of somewhat hopeful, it's not brilliant when you see this army is still marching up to the top side of the map. Again, look at all these workers that are just not even mining. Pretty much everything selected here, it's like 20 workers are just oversaturated. So actually the worker counts are very even. The income, you can see at bottom right, is actually favourable to Avocado. He didn't mine from his natural for so long, so he does actually have more mineral patches still available. So again, if he can hold on, Avocado might be okay, because he can float in base to a third, and all of a sudden then, Sweps doesn't have any mining. And as you just see, this army still just sat over to the side. You see a Widow Mine going off, and just going to be seen again, those units just pushing on forwards. 1 or 2 depots going to get taken down here, and again, Marine Marauder will stim on forwards. Dep's going to be taking some shots. No armor upgrade as well. Like, Swep's really making his life difficult here. Not continuing to upgrade or anything, but might just be too much anyways. The CC is on its last legs. Also doesn't target down the CC. Really making his life as difficult as he can. But it's still just about going to be enough, and I think, well, is it? Colossi starting to go down. Prism here actually, oh sorry, the Colossi getting saved by the Prism. It is going to be enough for Sweps. Man, it really was just that way more difficult than it really should have ever been. Pushing on forwards, the CC will go down. And Avocado, unfortunately, doesn't have much more of an answer in game number 1 of this best of 7. And it looks as though Gplay will take the lead over isIMBA. Gplay are yet to win a series, by the way, in this season. They have taken maps here and there. This will be their 6th map win in 6 games. Which obviously isn't great, but they are the heavy underdogs for this league. As you just see the 2 Vikings poking away at the Colossus. Colossus is just about going to fall down here, so no, maybe, yes, here we go, no. Stalker's coming through and we'll get rid of the 2 Vikings. I mean, it doesn't really matter if the Colossus falls or not. There's the GG, Sweps takes it, and update the replay pack and send that out too, so... it's tough, I don't know. We'll see where this series ends, and then we'll see what we'll do for the rest of the night. We might just call it a night, and we'll just come back tomorrow and cast some more. And that gives me the chance to go and catch up on the other bits and pieces for the rest of today. So, we'll see. We will see. As we jump into game 2 of this best of 7, bottom right-hand side from Gplay, taking map number 1. It is Sweps. And at the bottom left-hand side, the blue Zerg play from isIMBA is Armani. Thank you very much, Say68 for the cheer 5 in the chat. And Duddles for the cheer 102, the butt boss. Butt boss? The butt boss. Congrats, Duddles. You're finally relevant, and now you're called the butt boss instead of the bit boss. Congrats, man. You've made it in life. Oh, I need an intern. That's called Mjolky. You don't see her doing much work nowadays, do you? Nah, I'm joking. I mean, I've always thought about getting extra people to come and help out and stuff, but the reality is I can't pay them, which I guess is why you say an intern, but people lose motivation when they don't get paid. Here's what I've realized, like, people only do stuff for free for so long. I can only offer so many services, man. Can't hold myself out that much. Finally finding the answer to who the hell is Duddles. He's the butt boss. Amazing. Love it. Thank you for the cheers. Again, I really appreciate all the cheers. I mean, they come through so often, and so it's kind of weird because I know you guys are cheering like 100 at a time. So it actually adds up pretty quickly. It's like you're cheering $1 at a time, but it actually adds up. So it's like $10, $20 throughout the stream. It's pretty awesome, guys. Really do appreciate it. Some love in the chat, please, for all the beautiful people who are cheering away. So many people talking in the chat who subs as well. Like, where are all the non-subs? It's crazy. Where are you non-subs hiding? Got some non-subs in here who are wanting to chat away. We've got Magical. What's up, dude? How you feeling? But where's everyone else? Where is everyone else? Obviously, we just saw Armani picking up 3 kills against True Esports. Gplay would argue is a much weaker team, although their results in the team league aren't that different from True Esports, even though they've yet to win a series. So, honestly, you could, well, we'll see how this goes, but I would imagine Armani's going to be the heavy favorite throughout this series. As we see the opening, it's going to be a Nexus into a Twilight Council in the very early stages. There's a couple of non-subs. What's up, Bradford Oddfellow? How you doing? Geronimo SVK in the chat as well. What's up? How you feeling? Yeah, some non-subs hiding away in the corners. Good to see, good to see. And just thanks in general for tuning in today, guys. Do appreciate all the tuning in and watching of StarCraft with me. Again, it's going to be a fun week. We've got plans for pretty much the entirety of the week, which is awesome to have an entire week planned out ahead of StarCraft. Challenger League starts up again shortly too, so I mean that's going to be again back in the place. It's crazy. We actually got so much StarCraft coming up in the near future. It's pretty insane. Pretty insane. You can see a queen and a few lings just going to run on over and chase that adept away. I'm just going to continue coming in, and again that adept is going to get taken down. So adept gets taken down here, and just going to be seeing still the Overlord of Armani. Moving on over to the right hand side of the map, Darkshrine coming into play, which means that we are going to see most likely these Archon drops, Triple Gate as a follow up. Obviously DTs initially can harass around and see what's up, but generally expecting the Archon drops to be the major part of this. Grim's here as well. It's okay, Grim. You got a cheer badge. So you're like, you're not a full pleb, you're like a semi-pleb, you know? You're like a pleb upgraded, a pleb deluxe. How about that? Is that a good name for you? You like that? Perfect. Love it. Alright, well. You'll see these lings is going to back away to the left side again, and he's going to be seeing a DT warping in out the front. And a few extra gateways just going to be finishing up shortly. Bit of an older school build. Then again, you got to remember these games were played a couple of weeks ago, so this build was a bit more popular back then. No Robo though, which is actually the weirdest thing about this. So we're talking about potential Archon drops, but he's missing the key structure of that, which is the actual Archons. And the barcode player here, by the way, is indeed Sweps. You know what? I can put that up on the screen for you guys. Obviously, it's not Hero. Don't get your hopes up, guys. Sorry. There you go. Sweps. Perfect. This is Sweps down here. That's the barcode player. So, very strange. Like, 2 Archons, but no Prism to do much with them. I guess he's just going to sort of like... Yeah, I don't really know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, I suppose. So, he's going to get pushed away right away over to the left-hand side. And still just seeing the Rotron starting on up. Lair is on the way as well right here too. So, continue to set up into this. Spore Crawler comes on down in the main base mineral line, and yeah, these Archons just trying to pick up a little bit more damage, picking away at a couple more Zerglings to the side right there, and again a few more Zerglings just moving out and joining up towards the front. Resonating Glaives is starting on the Twilight Council. Just continue to set up into this. I'm just so surprised by the lack of a Robo. Like, there's really no need not to get the Robo. And it just gives you so much more potential. You know, if you got double Archon, you drop those Archons around, you're going to be able to get so much more done than if you had just the side. You know, than just sitting here with Archons. I mean, Armani, instead of taking damage from those, is just having nothing done at all by them. So, it's a pretty decent situation to be in as Armani. As he pulls the way up to the top side, and yeah, just looking to see what's up. More DTs, more Archons. I mean, it's all cool. I mean, the composition he's heading into is nice and all, but again, I just question the lack of a Robo facility. I really do. Anyways, you can see another creep teamer just pushing on forwards here. Queen will throw down another creep teamer up to the northern side. Some creep out towards the center. Will continue to push on forwards as well. And these Zerglings all just gathering up to see what they might try and do as well. Another DT warping on in. A couple more gates going to finish very shortly. And still there's an overseer moving around on mine, just having a look to see what's up, just checking to see what the transition might be, see if there is a Robo. He's probably as confused as we are. Like, he's like, where's the Wall Prison? Where's your Robo at all? Like, I really don't understand what's going on right now. Can you please explain to me what you're doing? Because it is not making a lot of sense as it stands. As you see the Archon and the Stalker, the Archons and the Stalker, just poking away at that Overlord. And the Overlord will get cleaned out here pretty swiftly. Stalker here to the side is going to come in and will be getting rid of that Overlord as well. And you'll see a few more Depths open into the right-hand side of this, and just going to see those Archons pushing forwards. The Depths too, shading on in. And, well, let's see how this fight's going to go, as Sweps is a little bit clumped up, maybe a bit too clumped up at the moment. Well, the Depths, where are they gone? The Adepts just left these Archons in the room, which is sort of ish working, I guess. Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know, actually. I mean, the Archons tanking the Banes is how it's meant to be, but then the Adepts aren't really doing that much against the Roaches. And I think it's something that's really missing out here to help against Roaches is just the Immortals. Not having any Immortals at all is really just, you know, chunks of firepower that really could be doing such a great job against these Roaches, which is just completely missing, which is, of course, just a little bit of a shame, as we're going to be seeing the Adepts pushed over to the left-hand side. Roaches still coming over there. And just keeping on cleaning those Adepts out. So the Roaches and the Ravager are going to push on in once more here, and we are going to see those Adepts again getting cleaned on out of here. Goodbye, Mr. Adepts. It was nice knowing you. 2TT is going to get warped in. Robo Bay is on the way down in the main base, so Robo Bay coming through, and the 2DT is going to move on up towards the upper left-hand side of the map. It's going to keep on trying to harass and all the rest of it. But Armani, I would say a pretty solid hold here, although honestly altogether, resources lost is pretty even, and both players have a good work count. So I'm just afraid for the, in a couple of ways for our Protoss player. He hasn't upgraded anything at all in terms of Forge upgrades. He's only just getting his first Forge now. And he's still playing a lot of Adepts, and I think the least effective thing at this stage of the game is generally Adepts against Roach, Ravager, Bane, because they die to the Banes and they don't do that much damage to the Roach, Ravager either. Something like Stalkers would generally be a lot better. So I'm not sure how I really feel about these Adepts at all being continued to warp in and be part of the main army composition. Nice Contaminate, by the way. We're slowing down this Immortal from finishing up for a little while and just clogging up the Robo production just for a few moments. Intrigued to see what the Robo Bay brings, whether he's just going to go, I imagine, into Disruptors, going in towards the Colossi might just be a little bit too risky, and I don't think, I mean, Disruptors can hit those magic shots, whereas with Colossi you sort of need 3 to 4 to really get any value out of them right from the get-go, so not too sure. I mean, looking back home for the Protoss player at the moment, he doesn't have that many units. 2 Archons, 1 Immortal. He's really just lacking in terms of tech, and tech is really what you need against this kind of mid-tier composition, low to mid-tier swarmy composition of the Zerg. Generally, this composition relies on just overwhelming your opponents. If you don't have a lot of Immortals, you don't have a lot of Archons to stay alive during these fights, you're just going to die off and disappear rather quickly. DT moving forwards. We'll watch this army come in through the northern side. A couple of Banes do connect, and Ling's going to try and get a bit of surround on this Nexus and these pylons as well, wherever possible. So we'll see what he can get up to. Another couple of Biles pushing the Archons away now. And these Adepts to the south side just going to warp in once again and join up with the rest of it and look to see what else is going on. Ravagers do pop on up right now and going to get set to go once again. Lingbane Ravager is the composition, of course, that we're watching at the moment. And, well, again, we'll see how this develops over the next few moments as Moon's coming up towards the top side. And a lot more Banes morphing in as well here from Armani. So here we go, Lings, Ravagers from the north, and we're just going to be seeing the, just getting, looking quite a lot done. Corrosive Bowers looking to connect with Ravager, so Disruptor shot. Whoa, the Banes from the south side! Never mind me talking about anything else, because those Banes are just going to crush through and kill everything else. Disruptor here does get a good amount of Zerglings, 13 of them, but obviously it's just way too much for Armani. +2 melee, doing a lot against the unupgraded, or pretty much unupgraded Protoss army. +1 attack is just now finished up, and that's just going to be GG. As we're going to be seeing. Our Protoss player says unplayable. Maybe just unhappy with the server. I mean, he's playing against a Korean in the ZVZ, as we're tied up 1 game apiece in this series. Let me just update that this is Nidix down here on the name tag. Put an outline on it as well, so it's a bit clearer. If it saves it. There we go. So this is Nidix, who spawns to the bottom right-hand side as the red Zerg player. But he's immediately going to be under some pressure as the 12th pool comes down from isIMBA Armani, the blue Zerg, to the upper left-hand side of the map. So setting up into this ZVZ, let's see how things will go. Let's see what will happen over the next few moments of the game. And just watching for that spawning pool to finish in the next couple of minutes here. And sort of set up into this. So this pool will finish up. We're going to see this hatchery will come on down as well. As we were mentioning before, hatchery going to be finishing in the next few minutes here. And again, just going to see hatch extractor coming on into play and getting set up and ready to go. A few more Zerglings on the way out from Armani. Of course, the first 6 will be looking to be aggressive. Because it's a 12 pool, nowadays with the drones you have left over, you can still afford to start a hatchery. So the idea is you get across the map, you ideally kill or cancel this hatchery of your opponent. And from there, you also look to kill a couple of drones and trade effectively to then drone up a little bit yourself, and you basically come out with a hatchery advantage and you know, about a similar worker count. Initially, when you come out of the engagement, you're probably down a couple drones, but it's made up for by the fact your opponent has to spend another 300 minerals on the hatchery, and so on and so on. So that's sort of the goal right now. And obviously, hatch first from Nidix is not really the best of situations to play with when playing against an aggressive early pool like the one we're seeing right now from Armani. So Armani arrives, and he will start to work his way through this hatchery. So I'll just nibble away, and that's exactly what he wants to do. He doesn't want to run up to high ground, he wants to force drones down to the low ground into an open area where he can turn and fight very convincingly, very easily, and just waste mining time of his opponent. You can see he set up the lings to very easily turn and just have a concave, basically, against those drones right from the get-go. And so far, no kills. Good micro by Nidix to pull away, but obviously still losing mining time. His first lings are about to pop out. That will start changing things a little bit for him. In fact, he's got some lings already coming down to the low ground. Now this will be Armani forced to fight. The drones don't get a proper surround there. They actually mess it up a little bit somehow. And that means that, well, this is painful. He loses lings, he loses drones, and he hasn't been mining with those drones for so long as well. Kills his hatchery, and he just backs away. And I mean, we're talking about the lead you come out with. That's 18 to 17 workers. Nidix has to invest 300 more minerals into a hatchery still. And Armani is just sat up on his own hatch. Queens are a go already. The only thing he's missing is gas mining and, well, ling speed and a bane nest. So I guess Armani, with a lead like this, should just throw down a spine crawler for safety. And there it is, actually being thrown down as I say it. Armani just wants to make sure he stays alive against any future pressure. We'll know again that his opponent is probably mining gas and probably does have a ling speed, so that spine crawler just going to help him to solidify a position atop this ramp and to solidify his lead in this game. So another queen just pushing on forwards, and again, Bane Nest will finish up shortly, and it's just going to be Nidix to try and break on through to try and pull himself back into this game. Evo Chamber and a Roach Rod, and the Queen will then fill the gap to the left side as well. Just playing a very standard sort of gasless playstyle going into that Evo and Roach Rod. Still hasn't taken gases, by the way. Just probably wants to make sure he's walled off just so he has a little bit of extra safety. Love the spine pushing forwards too. We'll just allow him to poke away at any lings that are trying to break up here. Any Banes as well. Just get targeted onto them nice and quickly as, again, that Bane Nest is finished. So what do we see out of Nidix? I mean, he's only on 15 workers. He has been stacking lings. As ling speed finishes, he'll morph in Banes, I imagine, to the left side. That's going to be difficult. The spine actually going to become part of the wall, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's a little bit more exposed now, a little bit more easily targetable down by a group of Banes or something, so it could be a pretty big deal. As I'm just going to see these lings skirmishing down onto the low ground. I'm going to see what else is going on. So Lings is down towards the south. Some Bane's going to finish up as well, and again going to keep on pushing forwards. Queen's just sat on this ramp as Ling's going to begin breaking on through here, and well, the sort of wall from Armani is breaking apart very quickly. Banes will go down and bust the spines. Roach is starting to come out now as well as gas was finally taken. Queens transfusing each other. The fact every Queen survives this is pretty insane. There's 2 more Roaches. Pop takes down a Zergling, and well, that might very well just be that. GG is called right then and there. Armani puts the isIMBA. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. Like, I want to do giveaways, but what can you even give away? You know, it's tough to say. So yeah, I don't know. If you got any good ideas for Wardy points, I'm happy to hear them. I'm happy to make them useful. I really am. You're from Houston. Yeah, because you couldn't go to DreamHack, right? Duh. I did know that. See, I did know this. I knew this. I knew this. See, I'm not as dumb as I think. Just sometimes I'm a little bit forgetful. It's kind of tough to keep track of what all your viewers are doing and where they're all from and everyone's days. It's difficult, man. Do a giveaway where someone can co-cast with me? Yeah, but I mean, I can't really let them co-cast an actual stream because that could be just the biggest disaster in the world. The biggest disaster in the world. Let them pick music for points. Find Wardy points and having a game cast of your choice. I mean, there's things like that. I think we'll try and set up some good Wardy point goals. We'll figure it out over the next few days. Let's cast this game. Talk about this after we've introduced the players a bit, I guess. Bottom left hand side, blue Terran player is going to be Archangel. And to the top right hand side, our right circle player is isIMBA's Armani. Hatch gas pool against just a Rax opening, nothing too crazy to begin with. Expansion on the low ground enables the creep to come out nice and quickly. As well, of course, Archangel will SCV scout just to make sure nothing shady is going on in the early stages. Spending points to pick names for Duddles. Yeah, I think we'll make something happen. I really need to find a good mod team. Like, I really need to get them. I mean, I love my mods right now, but the reality is they're very bad at doing bets. So I really need to kind of get some, like, sort the mods out a bit, maybe get them all in the proper Discord channel and stuff like that, just so we can have some communication and stuff, and get people to kind of set bets up a bit more often and stuff like that. And make sure you guys can actually use the Wardy points, because just using the Wardy points for bets and stuff in the first place would be cool once again. We did a lot of that in the past, but we haven't done it for a long, long time. A long, long time. So you guys are interested in being a mod for the channel? Send me a message. Anyone who's pretty reliable in the chat will probably get it. Some people actually sent it to me last time, and I probably didn't reply to them because I'm useless. I feel as though you sent me a message. Did you send me a message last time, say it? When I asked for mods? A couple of people did, but I'm not sure if it was you. Anyways. Could script a bot to track the points. We have a bot with the points on it. We have a bot. Exclamation mark Wardy points. It tracks all your points. As we see the hatchery coming down in the back. There's going to be seeing the few drones just manning away. So really not too much going on. I know I'm not really talking about the game, but there really isn't anything too ridiculous happening in the first few minutes. A couple of Hellions on the way out of this factory. For bets? Yeah, but the bot does bets as well. The bot does bets as well. The bot does a lot of things. We just need mods to operate the bot. that's the difficult part. We need mods to operate it and to figure out what's going on and to keep track of it and to actually shut the bets at the right time. And after shutting the bets at the right time, then actually pay out the bets with the right result at the end as well. that's the tough part. But yeah, it's been forever since we've done bets properly. It's I guess it's pretty like it's a pretty big commitment for the mods, because you do have to make sure you're here for the full series and somewhat paying attention to. Imagine that, being a mod and having to pay attention to the stream. Can the bot tell us who Duttles is? Maybe we should have exclamation mark Duttles just be the one and only butt boss. Quick Banshee on the way up here. A couple of Cyclones on the way too. A bit of a weird little bit of aggression going to be coming out of Archangel then to pressure Armani. At the start of game for Archangel, trying to put Gplay back into a leveled position in this best of 7. Gplay is still looking for their first win of the series. So far, have only averaged a single map per best of 7 this season. Let's see if Archangel can help him out and put them a little bit ahead of that markers are going to be seen moving forward. We're going to see, well, Cyclone's going to start doing some work. Roaches and Lings on the way out to defend this, though, and it feels as though it's just not that much here, really, for Archangel. Like, only 2 Cyclones, only 4 Hellions. It's not that scary of an attack. Like, a couple of rounds of production, and Armani is very easily going to have enough here to push this away, and that's exactly what this is. And as we're going to be seeing the units still from Armani, just sat just out front. And let's just do move on forwards, and again, Cyclone's looking to see what's going on. Still just trying to poke forwards, but not really doing all that much damage. Now, the first Banshee is indeed coming across the map, and this may be the first point at which we see Archangel really finding damage here. So, it's going to be see the Banshee coming over, and he's going to be starting to maybe work his way through a couple of drones. Spore about to finish, so there's a little while here where this Banshee has free reign over the mineral line, but it really won't be all that long. 2 drones dead, a third one getting pushed away. There's a couple of Queens coming now. Just have to stay close to the Spore until the lair finishes, and an Overseer can come into play, of course. Behind this, it is a bio follow-up. May not have sort of expected that after a couple of Cyclones and the Hellions initially. As we still just see again, Roaches and Ling sat out the front, and Archangel, does he want to make a bit of a larger attack with this? We actually see from Armani and Nidus network on the way up. So looking to get a little bit aggressive himself here in the next few moments. With the Nidus obviously just go for a large attack across the map and just see what he can get up to. You'll see these Hellions actually going to take down a creep tumor, and again just look to see what else is going to be up for grabs here in the next few moments. Queen's pulling back as well, another Queen joining up towards the front. And again, Archangel just pulling away in towards the center of the map. 8 Roaches on the way out. A Queen 2 Roach speed does begin, but there's the Nidus network. And that's going to be something Archangel right now does not have an answer to. So Marine's going to pull into position. SCVs will have to be pulled. But the first thing out of this Nidus should be the Queens, which means he should have transfuse energy. The Nidus should not die. And that is where the issue will just be beginning for Archangel. Another Nidus at the front. I don't really know why. Blocks this tech lab. I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference. The tank is about to pop, by the way, so he'll have a tank. But actually, if the Nidus on the other side, he might be able to kind of just swoop in and kill this tank on that side anyways. That'd be pretty neat if he starts. Okay, that Nidus dies instantly, so maybe wouldn't have been a great idea. Tank quite far back right now, not doing too much. The Queen's here. The Overseer is non-existent. It is existent. Where is it? There it is. Overseers are coming forward. The Queens will be able to work their way through the Banshees, and right now it looks as though there's just so many Roaches that even with that siege tank, the Roaches are spreading up nicely enough to be able to push on through and to take that siege tank down. Actually, if last 3 Roaches getting very, very low, but here's reinforcements. Tank falls, and there's no further tank on the way. And that's going to be GG from Archangel. Gplay are down 1. You know, GI5 is one of the most undercover viewers we have in the chat, I think. I'm going to call him out right here. He watches a hell of a lot of this channel, because I know when I check my bot, he has a lot of hours on the stream. He's always very quiet in the chat. He's not the man you see. He pops in now and then, but doesn't always pop in. Not as often as he's here. What's up, GI5? How you doing? The bot's really cool, man. Being able to stalk all my viewers is my favorite thing. You can see when you guys first watch the stream. You can see how long guys have, when you guys last tuned into the stream. You can see how much time you spend in the stream and all the rest. It's amazing. BRB gonna cash these into the bank. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it, how much money you're gonna make off all these Wardy points. Can you imagine if Wardy points became like the new Bitcoin? Suddenly you can trade Wardy points for services around the world. People are trading in Wardy points for millions of dollars at a time. Man, I'd be rich. We could retire from streaming. Well, I probably wouldn't retire from streaming, but what I would do is I'd be able to run more tournaments. That'd be exciting. I'm gonna put these in my internet point saving account. Gonna put them in a pool and swim in them. For blackjack and hookers. You guys are funny today. You guys have some real good humor today. I'm enjoying it. You guys are funny. Making me laugh. Batman. The final player from Gplay. Can he save the day? Armani did very nearly fall apart when he was the final player against True Esports, but managed to come back from an insane deficit. We'll see what happens in this 5th game over the next few moments. So far, pretty standard. The Zealot is maybe a bit weird. Just going to wall off here, I guess, just for safety's sake, just in case of an early pull. You guys are buttering me up, hoping for 6 more points. Hey, you keep on going like this, you'll get like 10 free points. But the thing is, if I add 10 points to everyone, I don't know if it adds 10 points to everyone in the chat or everyone who's in the chat. I think it's just for all viewers. All online viewers, yeah. Mental. Wardypot's going crazy now. Zal and Stalker are going to turn away these Zerglings at the front. Not much information gained by Armani initially. We do see the build order from Batman is pretty standard. Robo and a Twilight. The Overlord into the main will try and scout, but the Stalker will try and deny. Looks as though the Dark Shrine will come down anyways, and the Overlord will continue to head in and will scout this. Not the end of the world, be it being scouted, just means that he will have the detection up to protect the protect from the Dark Templar. The Archons are the obviously the kind of scary part about this, and that was sort of what Sweps was missing in the earlier series, missing the robo facility, but that's something which Batman has got up from the very get-go here this time around. A boss battle with Wardy points? How do you think I'm going to make a boss battle with Wardy points? I can't figure that out. That's clever stuff. I'm limited by the powers of the bot. So I can't do too much, man. Anyways, a few more gates just continue coming in, pretty much as we expect. I mean, we saw this build earlier on New Kick Precinct. It was just missing the robo. And you're going to see a charge follow-up as well from Batman. So I wonder if, rather than looking to take a third Nexus, he'll just move straight into 8 gates in total. And just sort of go from there, I guess. And just sort of like 2 base all in. It was very popular a while back. Kind of post-BlizzCon. Post-BlizzCon, early 2017, it was very popular to see sort of players playing a lot of these kind of 2 base all-in follow-ups to the Archon drop. Because the Archon drop back then was doing so much damage and Zergs was really struggling to deal with it to the extent that it would just always put you in such a great position, in the sense that if you followed up aggressively, it was very hard for the Zerg to have enough left over after dealing with the Archon drops to survive. As the Prism pops out here, does Batman know where his opponent is? He is. Just Prism wants to go for a bit of a long wander around the right side. Obviously the power is you harass with the Archons, and then the 2 Archons are still there as part of the army. And as the 2 Archons come in as part of the army, that's very powerful, and that can really do a lot for you. So that can be pretty awesome. You can see some more Zealots just getting warped in. Sorry, DT's warped in over here. And they are going to swipe away a couple of these Zerglings. Again, the Dark Shine spotted a Wild Ghost. This is not anything. This is far from a surprise. This is one single Zergling will try and do what he can against this Archon. Nibbling away at those shields. I believe on you, Zergling. R.I.P. We believed. Now that may you become one with the grounds of Cactus Valley. As his blood fades, our memories of him will not. We light this fire on this random stone in his memory. Mr. Zergling, who tried to fight an Archon. Zealots and Archon is going to try and charge on in, but so far no real luck. He's trying to fake a third Nexus over here, but Armani just has so many units anyway, and so far has deflected the first wave of this. 2 more Archons come into play. And we're going to be seeing Batman able to kind of rotate around. What's he doing? It's kind of awkward because like, if with this sort of attack, you'd expect him to keep on warping in and being aggressive. Looking over to the side, which is nice. It's just these units are so out in the open and on their own. They do not want to be stranded at all. As we return a PM moment of silence as we remember our fallen Zergling. Don't forget to press F to pay respects. As we do have Archons continue to just harass over to the side, and I'm just going to be seeing the Warpers actually continue to take a little bit more damage. A little still alive though, which is obviously important. Ooh, I like this. Actually, these units going to come back in, and a little bit slow to do anything, and now they pull back. A little bit indecisive. Yeah, I mean, it's very risky. I mean, if the Archons weren't here, I could understand the Zealots sacrifice themselves, but the Archons, they're expensive, man, and they're a big part of the army from Batman, which are meant to be helping him out. Third Nexus being thrown down is obviously he doesn't feel as though this 8 gateway 2 base play is going to work out for him, and I don't blame him because it really hasn't been going so well so far. And it's just going to be seeing the few Zealots popping on out and just going to be gathering together. There goes the Archon, it disappears. I'm just going to see Zealots charging force. There's just not that many units here. Another Archon going to go down almost instantly just because of the number of roaches able to target it at once. Continue to kite against these Zealots. It's good micro from Armani to make the most of this. Just trade as effectively as possible. Again, looking to take isIMBA up into 3rd place in the WardiTV Team League Season 7. What a position that would be for them. A team which was very much so an underdog in this season, but very much so competitive with their lineup and looking to just sort of surprise people. And so far, that is what they've been doing, and it looks as though they might do it yet again. Gplay, definitely a team they expect to take down, but with such dominance once more, it just shows that they're not messing around. It just really means they have such a great chance of making the playoffs. Pushing through, Armani has too many roaches. And that is going to be GG. Armani takes the 4-1 victory. Congratulations, Armani.